All right, and Sean. Okay, so we'll stick with cinema. We'll stick with cinema. We'll carry
Cinema.
on with
Okay. Okay.
so carry on with your quick fire. Because this is a film that you've promised us will probably be a quick fire review, and this was Arcadian, starring Nicolas Cage. So
Arcadian. Yes.
tell us about this. What was this about?
Okay. So this come out of the blue. This was one I saw in Paul. A Nicolas Cage film. It takes part in the future. There's been some sort of rather nasty thing gone on, and there's these creatures that come out at night. And he's got two sons, which he's trained to. Before night comes, they bolt the doors. They get it all safe. Is it safe? Is it safe? Yes, Dad, it's safe. Yes, Dad, it's safe. But one of the lads, there's a farm. There's another farm a few miles away that's got a girl that the older brother quite fancies. So anyway,
In a totally unexpected and not predictable at all twist of events.
yeah. So anyway, so basically, he sends the two sons off to do a few errands, and the lad says to his younger brother, "Oh, I'm just going to run up to the farm," and so, and then of course he comes back. He said, "Oh, look at the time! I better get running," and he sort of it gets a bit dark, and he stumbles, shall we say, and then the father goes, "Right, I'll go and look after him." And leaves the younger son on the house, and then all the creatures try to get in and stuff. And so yeah, it's as I say, it's quite. I quite like Nick Cage was really really proper low key in this. He was like, not, sometimes he can be like super over indulgent. And I thought he was fairly good in this as like a sort of. Should we say, a bit of a stern father, or just he cared. You could tell he cared for his sons, but he was, you've got to do this. We must do this. We must shut down. And there's one, probably the best scene in it, when the younger son is in the house, and there's one of these things nearly gets in because he wants to trap at the younger son because he's quite smart. He wants to trap one of these things. So while his dad's away, he decides to try and trap one of these things here, so he can look at it and study it and whatever.
Yeah.
So, and then, it goes underground. Nick Cage happens to find his son, and there's a few bits of destroying monsters and monsters trying to chase him, and a bit in the house. So it was rather interesting. I'm not sure all the monsters worked. I'm not sure all the creatures worked, and it didn't really explain.
Let's say the still you have, or the picture you have that has the monsters, the monsters do look a little bit low budget CGI.
Yes, they do, and they're like, they can suddenly turn into massive fast fire, like not fireballs, but like rolly balls, like bowling balls that just go really fast, and they got loads of gnashy teeth. Pardon?
Critters used to do that back in the day.
Yeah. They did, didn't they? Yeah, back in the day. So
1980s horror.
So I didn't mind this.
I'm definitely getting that vibe from the poster you have behind you, Sean.
So I would say, I didn't dislike this film. I thought it was interesting, a few interesting comments. I did like Nick Cage in this, actually. I know he's very hot and cold. I don't mind some Nick Cage movies, but Nick Cage was all right. The two sons were all right. There was a bit on the farm, which I thought probably didn't really work for me and all that. But on the whole, I'll give this one a 3. I'll give this a 3 star.
I am so interested as to exactly when this film was shot, because everything you said about this, it sounds like it has the elements of a Quiet Place knockoff. So it sounds like A Quiet Place is released. A Quiet Place is released, it becomes this big thing. A Quiet Place Day 1 is about to come out, and then they decide, ooh, we've got this film that Nick Cage made to pay off a tax bill, so let's release it out in the cinema. It sounds very much like that. If nothing else, I am intrigued to go and find the backstory of this film now. So Arcadian, 3 stars for Arcadian, Nick Cage starring thing. What did you? Oh no, you watched that in the cinema. You said, yeah, you saw that.
Yeah. That was in Paul. That was one of the ones that, because it didn't come here, but in Paul. And funny enough, I looked at the listings today and Paul, the in a violent nature was
will be there
on in Paul, but not on the Isle of Wight.
It will, yeah. That's a student town film the whole way. The way you described, that's a student town film the whole way. And Yeah, but it's funny though. Showing myself cinematic snobbery. The second you started describing Arcadian, I just went, "Well, that was going to be direct to video." And so I was like,
Yeah.
so which streaming Oh no, that was actually in the cinema. So pardon me, my mistake. But
That does sound very straight to video, though.
it sounds very
Yeah.
straight to video, especially with it's Nicolas Cage with a wig, and
Yeah.
I don't think anything says straight to video like a film poster with Nicolas Cage with a wig with a full head of hair on. That just says straight to video to me. I don't know, but I will stop expressing all my prejudices.